How Mecca become the heart of Arabia. In the last video, we saw how Ibrahim left his wife Hajar and his infant son Ismail in a barren, empty valley. There was no water, no people, no civilization, only desert and trust in God. Ibrahim returned again and again, and with time, by the will of Allah, life began to grow around that valley. Water flowed from Zamzam, travelers stopped, families settled, and Ibrahim and Ismail raised the Kaaba, a house built for the worship of one God alone. That valley came to be known as Mecca. For generations, the people who lived there followed the religion of Ibrahim. They lived simply, peacefully, and independently. The Kaaba stood at the center of their lives, not only as a place of worship, but as a symbol of unity. People did not come to Mecca for power or politics. They came because it was sacred. Over time, the descendants of Ismail multiplied. They formed families, then clans, and eventually a tribe that would be known as Quraysh. Mecca slowly transformed from a settlement into a town, and then into a city. But it was still poor. It had no agriculture, no empire, no army. Its importance came from only one thing, the Kaaba. As centuries passed, tribes from all over Arabia began to recognize Mecca as a neutral and sacred place. Fighting was forbidden there. Bloodshed was prohibited. This made Mecca safe, and safety attracted people. Pilgrims came to worship, and traders came with them. Slowly, trade routes began to pass through Mecca, connecting Yemen in the south with Syria and Iraq in the north. Mecca was becoming important, but it was not yet the heart of Arabia. That changed when power entered the city. At one point, Mecca was ruled by the Jurhum tribe, who maintained control of the Kaaba and the city. For a long time, Jurhum governed peacefully, but power creates rivalry, and rivalry creates war. Eventually, a neighboring tribe, Khuzaa, attacked Mecca. After a long struggle, Khuzaa defeated Jurhum and expelled them from the city. For the first time, Mecca experienced a violent change of rule. The leader of Khuzaa was a man named Amr bin Luhay. At first, he was respected. People saw him as a wise leader and a religious authority. But his rule marked a turning point in history. During his travels outside Arabia, Amr bin Luhay passed through lands under Persian influence, regions dominated by the Persian Empire. There, he saw something that deeply impressed him. He saw powerful cities, strong rulers, and people living lives of luxury and stability. He noticed that these societies worshipped idols, statues, and images, and he began to believe that their power and prosperity came from these gods. To Amr bin Luhay, it appeared simple. The Persians ruled vast lands. They lived in wealth. Their cities flourished, and at the center of their lives were idols. He became convinced that idol worship was the secret behind their dominance and their lavish way of life. He believed that if Arabia adopted the same practices, Mecca too would gain strength, influence, and prosperity. So he copied what he saw. He brought an idol named Hubal back to Mecca, and he placed it inside the Kaaba. With that single act, the religion of Ibrahim was corrupted. What began as imitation soon became tradition. One idol became many. Each tribe wanted its own god. Over time, idols multiplied until hundreds surrounded the Kaaba. Mecca transformed from a center of pure monotheism into the center of Arabian polytheism. But paradoxically, this corruption increased Mecca's importance, because now every tribe in Arabia had a reason to come to Mecca. Their gods were there, their rituals were there, their festivals were there. Pilgrimage increased, trade increased, wealth flowed into the city. Religion became business, and business became power. After the death of Amr bin Luhay, resentment against Khuzaa grew. The original inhabitants of Mecca, now known as Quraysh, viewed Khuzaa as outsiders. Over time, Quraysh united, revolted, and expelled Khuzaa from the city. This moment changed everything. Because Quraysh did not rule like a typical tribe. Instead of placing all power in one man's hands, Quraysh divided authority among their clans. Each clan was given a responsibility essential to the survival of the city. One clan managed the Kaaba, one managed pilgrims, one managed trade, one managed diplomacy, one managed defense. This created balance, and balance created stability. To govern collectively, Quraysh established Dar al Nadwa, a council house where the leaders of all clans gathered. Decisions about war, peace, trade routes, alliances, and leadership were made there. This was unheard of in Arabia. Tribes ruled by force, Quraysh ruled by system. This system transformed Mecca. While the rest of Arabia was consumed by tribal wars, Mecca remained stable. While Yemen, Iraq, and Syria were torn apart by proxy wars between Rome and Persia, Mecca stayed neutral. While kingdoms rose and fell, Mecca prospered. Caravans passed safely through the city. Traders trusted Quraysh. Pilgrims returned every year. Wealth accumulated. Influence expanded. Without an army, Mecca became powerful. Without an empire, Mecca became central. Slowly, Mecca turned into the heart of Arabia, not by force, but by trust. Not by conquest, but by religion and trade. Every tribe recognized its importance. Every power respected its neutrality. But beneath this success, society was deeply broken. Idolatry dominated belief. The rich exploited the poor. Slavery was widespread. Women were treated as property. Tribal pride ruled over justice. Alcohol, gambling, and violence were common. Power belonged to lineage, not morality. Mecca had become the center of Arabia, but it had lost its soul. At the same time, the wider world believed Rome and Persia would rule forever. They saw Arabia as backward, divided, insignificant. They did not realize that the foundations of a world-changing transformation were already taking place. Trade routes were open, tribes were connected, a political system existed, a central city unified Arabia. All that was missing was guidance. From within Quraysh, from within Banu Hashim, a child would soon be born into this world, into a city that was powerful yet corrupt, sacred yet polluted, stable yet unjust. And through him, Mecca would not only become the heart of Arabia, it would become the heart of the world.